here we go. Back again. Back again. Alright. And today is Friday. So, yeah, it is the Friday Fix. And would you believe it? This is the 25th episode of the Friday Fix. And yeah, it is indeed going strong, right? Happy days. And it is, of course, a sort of roundup of different headlines from throughout the week, right? And this week and last week even has been jam packed with stories in regards to the COVID vaccination, right? The inoculation of this super vaccine that they have made up in a matter of no time, right? How wonderful. Of course it is a miracle, right? Sure. And this is from the BBC and it just came out today, I believe, or yesterday. We'll go with today, right? The 20th. As you can see, COVID in Scotland. First vaccine delivery due next month. So, yeah, it is just what we ordered for Christmas, right? Happy days. And in terms of Scotland, you can now no longer leave where your sort of town or village. Where I stay in Murrayshire, it is in level 1, right? It's unbelievable, the fucking tyranny that we are currently under. It's crazy. Although with that said, where I stay, you would hardly notice. A lot of people, they are just saying no. They are not being fooled by the lies and deception that we get from the media and, of course, the people that fund and control them. And in this article from The Guardian, it tells you that you can't leave or enter Scotland anymore, right? Because everyone's dying. But yeah, you can't even leave, like I said, your town or village. And even with Murray being in level 1, we still can't leave. And from tonight, from 6 p.m. tonight, the travel ban is in force in Murray. So yeah, talk about 1984. It is fucking here, that is for sure. And we know where this is heading. It's going to be, we touched on it before, a Rockefeller resilient city or town where there's checkpoints at every fucking street corner, right? Look out for it. And jumping back to the vaccine, we will leave Bonnie Scotland for the time being. But yeah, the vaccine next month in Scotland, likely, most likely even for the elderly and frontline staff, like in the NHS. But a lot of them, they do not want it. Straight up. And yeah, let's face it, who could blame them, right? But yeah, in terms of Pfizer, again, and America, this is from the Daily Mail, again today, the 20th. Pfizer applies for US emergency use of COVID-19 vaccine. So yeah, Pfizer have the vaccine, this super effective vaccine that's even better than previously thought. It's waiting in the wings. So I may be going out on a limb, but I think it will indeed get the go-ahead for emergency use, right? Stay well fucking clear of it for sure. And again, from The Guardian in the UK, NHS prepares dozens of COVID mass vaccination centres around England and also in Scotland. In fact, this will be happening everywhere that has the COVID agenda, and it will be in England anyway. It will be the Nightingale hospitals that got built for all the COVID patients that never turned up, right? So they must have been okay, but of course no one had it. But they will be used possibly to house people like me who don't want the vaccine, or maybe they will use these hospitals that are now out of business, and sports centres as well, like leisure centres that are closed down. Will they possibly be used for people who have been damaged by the vaccine? I guess that is also a possibility. And in terms of China, I have seen a lot of people asking about China and the vaccine. Have they been getting it? Well, seemingly they have been, as you can see, 6 hours ago from the Bill Gates Guardian, right? The go-to. China has given almost 1 million people experimental COVID vaccine. Wow. So, yes, seemingly in China, they are still giving out or handing out or forcing out this experimental vaccine. Sure, why not, right? And this from the BBC. And we have seen this coming for many, many months now. We know where it's heading, and it's from the BBC, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Align to fight COVID vaccine conspiracies. Dun, dun, dun. Right, so how amazing that these massive companies have put their differences to one side and have aligned to fight off the bad conspiracies, right? How lucky are we? And it says by January, when Full Fact says an initial framework should have been agreed, countries should be starting to roll out vaccines to populations which have been subjected for months to a flood of scare stories about them. Right, they will have seen stories ranging from suggestions that the vaccines have serious side effects or haven't been properly tested to allegations that they are part of a plot involving Bill Gates to implant microchips in people and track them. Right, so that's obviously a load of BS. But no, it ain't. Right, it's all true. Because if you look at it, yes, there is serious side effects. And yes, it hasn't been tested for long enough, so it's not been properly tested. And yes, the microchips in vaccines, that is indeed coming straight fucking up. And of course, Bill Gates, he is involved in everything. And we will touch on our hero in just a sec. But to continue with this, it says, with a coronavirus vaccine potentially only months away, he said the concern was that bad information could undermine trust in medicine when it matters most and ultimately prolong this pandemic. Right. Facebook said it welcomed the effort to discuss and develop new strategies for tackling misinformation. Right, so look out for new sort of restrictions or rules, if you like, possibly even laws, right? And I would imagine that we may even see at certain points possibly an internet shutdown, even here in the UK, even possibly a complete blackout in terms of electricity. So yeah, look out for it and be prepared, right? And this, I'm sure you all know what this is. It is indeed gene editing and the CRISPR technology, right? How fascinating. Again, how lucky are we? And yeah, the gene editing has been in the news again, big time this week, with new elegant chemo. Israeli scientists edit genome to destroy cancer DNA. Wow, so yeah, cue the celebrations for gene editing, right? And this from Science Today. Like CRISPR, mystery gene editor began as a virus fighter. Right, so with that in mind, what will the COVID vaccine eventually become? I wonder. And this is well from the Student Life 7 hours ago. Opinion: gene editing is not the villain. Right, sure, but of course it is the complete opposite. Gene editing is the fucking villain. And yeah, you can take that to the bank for sure. And I seen this from 1 week ago. Fierce Biotech, right? Bayer powers gene editing startup Metagenome to 65 million around. So yeah, what a surprise that the wonderful Bayer, the great company Bayer, this wonderfully fantastic company who have never in their life done any harm to anyone, right? What a surprise that they would be involved with CRISPR gene editing. And of course, Bayer are in bed, basically, or friends, if you like, with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And in terms of Bayer, they are as bad as they come, right? Straight up. And I remember they bought over Monsanto, who were another monster company, who basically are mass murderers, or were. It's Bayer now. But they bought Monsanto, and if I remember rightly, they bought them for 666 billion. Just a coincidence, that. But I came across this article, which you can indeed check out, because I will link it in. And this guy, he absolutely nails Bill Gates, Bayer, and Monsanto, right? So make sure that you check this out. And as you can see from last year, Bayer had to pay out over 2 billion in claims because of Roundup, which is the weed killer. And yeah, Bill Gates, he is totally 100% always involved when it comes to companies, these giant companies like Bayer and Monsanto, right? But of course they changed their name and form into something else and think that we just forget about them, but we don't. And if you look at this photo here, our hero, if you look at the dog's face, yeah, that tells you all you need to know about Bill Gates. The poor dog doesn't know what's going on, and he's basically saying, why the fuck have you put me with this absolute freak of a man, right? And we will touch on dogs, actually, funnily enough, in a second, right? But sticking with our hero, Bill Gates, this week he's been saying that Bill Gates calls US's failure to contain the coronavirus mind-blowing, right? Warns that colder months will be very tough. And of course, we are now being warned of this dark winter, right? Be prepared. And to expand on this, Gates has been regularly featured. Well, it says regularly, but he's always fucking featured in the media amid the public health crisis. Ain't that a surprise, right? He's always there lurking with great news for everyone. The Gates Foundation has committed about $250 million to research, testing and treatments for the coronavirus. Right, sure, 250 million. Try times in that by 10, right? He pays for fucking everything. Of course, funded by the big banks, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, right? And Gates is quoted in this article as well, saying, "We didn't catch the epidemic at the early stage, where the numbers are small, before they get exponentially big." Right, but Bill Gates, who is he blaming? Because he's the man who warned us. He's the man that knew everything was coming. He's the man that we should all listen to. But of course, he's always going to blame someone else. And that someone else is likely you. And of course, me, right? So yeah, happy days. But really, the only person to blame is Bill Gates. And I think another video on our hero is well and truly overdue, right? So look out for that in the future. And this from last week, Bojo hosts Bill Gates and pharma bigwigs to plot COVID-19 vaccine. So yeah, Jill and his husband Michael have been meeting up with Boris Johnson and the big wigs at Big Pharma. And yeah, I wonder what sort of discussions they have been having behind our backs, of course. But hey, fear not, everything is totally transparent with our government, right? Sure, why not? But we'll leave Jill for the time being, but look at some other news, right? This one today, breaking. Human aging reversed in Holy Grail study, scientists say. Right, well, if it's a study and a scientist says, like Simon says, then yeah, it must be fucking true. So yeah, if you're looking to reverse your age, you will indeed be happy to know that they can now seemingly do it. They've found the Holy Grail, and it's through some sort of oxygen treatment, and they put you in this big container or cylinder here for how long, God only knows. But for me personally, I have always felt very young at heart, and in my mind I am quite an immature person, although I can indeed be very fucking serious at the same time. But for me personally, I will grow old gracefully, right? And when my time comes, it shall come, and I will be grateful, and am grateful for the memories that I've had. But if you would like to reverse your age, then yeah, there you go. Look out for it. Save up your pennies, and who knows, you might get a chance to go in the cylinder, right? Happy days. And this as well, you can tell that it's an Amazon delivery, right? That's their logo, which I'm sure everyone has seen it or used Amazon. But yeah, what are they up to now? This must be them delivering somebody's medication, because they're not a pharmacy, are they? Well, yeah, they now are a fucking pharmacy. Amazon launches online pharmacy. Wow, so on Tuesday, they announced that customers can buy prescription medication straight from the pharmacy at Amazon. How lucky, again, are we to have people like Jeff Bezos, right? Sure. And this here is seemingly a picture of the planet dying. And as I said yesterday, I have news to share in regards to the killing of the planet. So what is it this time in the media? Have they came out and told the truth? Are they telling us that they have been spraying us for decades with all them chemicals that we know they have been? Well, no, it's this. Thanks for polluting the planet. Emails blamed for climate change, right? There you go. I tried to say it without laughing, but yeah, I couldn't. I just couldn't. But yeah, all them emails that you have been sending, well, thank you for killing the planet, right? And yeah, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. But of course, the internet and the email that was brought to us and became everything. But hey, that's not the only thing that is killing our planet. Would you believe it? These wee dogs, or dugs as we call them in Scotland, right? Beautiful dogs. I do love dogs. I am more of a cat lover myself. I have always had a cat, but I do like dogs. I am a big fan of wildlife. But yeah, as you can see from the Bill Gates Guardian, pet flea treatments poisoning rivers across England. Scientists find. Right, so this flea treatment you will know of if you have any pets and have treated them. I myself I do even use it on the cat that we have just now. Well, what's it saying? Well, discovery is extremely concerning for water insects and fish and birds that depend on them. Because, of course, as we do know, it is a chain, and if one link is broken or missing, the chain breaks down. Right? It's a domino effect, like we have covered. Once certain insects or birds disappear, it will just continue. And to expand on it a bit more, the research found fipronil, what a surprise that is, in 99% of samples from 20 rivers, and the average level of one particular toxic breakdown product of the pesticide was 38 times above the safety limit. Fipronil and another nerve agent called imidacloprid that was found in the rivers have been banned from use on farms for some years. Yeah, and no wonder they have been banned, but yet here they are still using it in this flea treatment. And what a surprise that again this chemical, fipronil or whatever it's called, is again in the news. And it then continues, the problem is these chemicals are so potent, he said. Even at tiny concentrations, we would expect them to be having significant impacts on insect life in rivers. One flea treatment of a medium-sized dog with imidacloprid contains enough pesticide to kill 60 million bees, he said. Right? And yeah, as always, every fucking time, the doting human who is only caring for his pet walks right into it. But I don't buy that it's just through dogs playing in rivers. They have found it in that high a level. It can't be just that. And it continues, fipronil is one of the most commonly used flea products, and recent studies have shown it degrades to compounds that are more toxic to most insects than fipronil itself. Wow, said Rosemary Perkins at the University of Sussex, who led the study. Our results, she said, are extremely concerning. Damn fucking straight. And of course, this has not happened by accident. If you think this has just happened by chance, then you really, really, really do need to get your fucking head out of your arse. And I mean fucking pronto, right? Because this shit is not by accident. That is for sure. But we will leave fipronil for the time being. And we have discussed fipronil before. That is for sure. And it will be back again. No doubt about it. And just finally for today, I did say months and months ago that our pal Elon would eventually, without any doubt, become the richest man in the world, or as I like to say, top of the list of the I am the greediest cunt in the world, right? And he is now third on the list, and yeah, he will climb even more, especially when Starlink is in full swing. Anyway, that is it for this week's Friday Fix. Thank you to everyone who engages and who has subscribed and watches. It is indeed much appreciated. I will catch you on Sunday, so enjoy your weekend and don't wear a mask. And that is about it. Bye-bye.